Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders, the Authority Positioning Coach. Today we have back with us Leo Climaco, who's a business acceleration specialist and the author of Align and Unleash, The Way to Your Truth. Leo, welcome back to the program.
Hi, Mike. Thank you so much for having me. I am thrilled to be here with you, and I love the fact that we've been doing this series together. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've been learning a whole lot, and I'm excited about this section of this conversation we're having because this is all on the maps. And I think that when people hear a concept and they go, I'm getting it, I'm understanding it, but now what do I do? Where does the rubber meet the road? And this is where the frame maps come in. So first, I'd like to ask you, let's define what a frame map is, and then we'll start diving into your next sections here, chapter 14 on the frame map for the body. But what is a frame map?
I'll go even granular. Let's start with, what is a frame? A frame is your perception on a particular topic, a particular a subject, a particular group, whatever it may be, right? A lot of us grow up with a frame that we did not create ourselves. It was put on us by family, school, society, basically programming us to have a certain point of view that we may not even agree with, that we may not even like, that may not even be serving us. So our goal with frame mapping is to break you free from this current frame, from this current point of view that you have created for yourself, of the world and of yourself. And we are going to rewire it by remapping it. We are going to create an entire new frame to give you a new box to step into. One created by you, designed for you, not something designed for you by somebody else, something designed by you for you. And that is the purpose of frame mapping.
I love it. So, it's all based on your environment and what's the outside forces that have been you've experienced and your reaction and response to those through your life.
Exactly. Most of us,
Perfect.
By the time we are 7, our frame map is basically already built of the world and how we see it, based on our parents, our school, our friends, what we know of the world by 7 years old. And that frame map, as we get older and as we go into our teen years, only gets bigger and only gets, I guess, reevaluated by constant bombardment of programming.
That's huge. That's awesome. So where do we go now when we take this frame map and apply it to the first pillar of body, as you talk about in chapter 14?
So there are 5 questions that you can ask yourself in order to free yourself from the current frame that you're in. And these 5 questions are designed to really make you think. These are thought questions, and are also questions for you to write things down. These questions can be applied equally to all 4 pillars within the core 4. So I'll go through each question, and then I'll go deeper into each question after I say all 5 questions.
Okay.
Question number 1. Where am I now? Question number 2. how did I get here? Question 3, how do I feel about where I am? Question 4, what is working about where I am now? Question 5, what is not working about where I am now? All these questions are designed to awaken you. All these questions are designed to, I guess, in a modern term, red pill you, right? If you ever seen The Matrix, when Neo thinks a red pill, they're all designed to red pill you and allow you to see the frame that you're in. Because most people can't even see the frame. So these questions are positioned in a manner to allow for you to see the frame and question it and be able to really understand if my current frame is serving me or not. So question 1, where am I now? It feels like a very simple question, but it can be very difficult to answer because that leads to a Pandora's box of where you are now and why you're there. But it's very important to get clear on where you are now within your body, being, balance, and business. Where am I now with my body? How much do I weigh? How tall am I? How long have I been this weight? What is my BMI? What is my cholesterol level? What is the proper level for a man my age? What am I eating? Where are you now within body? Where are you now within being? Do you pray? Do you meditate? What is your level of faith? Are you able to close your eyes, open your arms, fall back, and know that God has you? What is your level of commitment to your family, to God, to your children? Where are you now within these 4 pillars? Where's your business right now? How much money are you making? What did you make last year? What did you make last quarter? What did you make 2 years ago? What has been your growth the past 2 years? What has been your growth this year? Are you stagnant? Are you profitable? How's your marketing? All of these questions, especially question number 1, it's designed to snap you into the now, to bring you into your reality, to give you a truthful realization of where you are now. That is the first step to frame mapping, to recreating your current frame, is understanding where you are now. Question 2.
So let's oh yeah, go ahead. I mean, I want to apply these frame map questions to each one of these.
No problem.
So
Go
as we're applying it to body here for the body, how would you take a question and then apply it, and what specific strategy would that look like?
So the question of where am I now? You can start at a very simple level of, am I healthy or not? Just that basic, simple level. And if you want to take it to another level, how much do I weigh? Is my weight proper for my height and age? These questions are designed to show you your truth. They are a tool to allow you to come into your truth. Because everyone can tell you, man, you're fat. Man, you're overweight. Man, go to the gym. Man, eat better. What are you doing, man? Everyone can tell you. But if you are not able to come to this realization on your own through the truth, through the question of where are you now, you will never be able to get to question 2, let alone question 5.
Yeah. You got to have a starting place, literally a foundation and a baseline.
Exactly.
So from there, once we know where we are regarding body, what's the next question we need to be moving to?
How did I get here? It's very important for you to understand wherever you are, how you got there. Because it wasn't overnight. It was a long process of you letting yourself go, of you not loving yourself, of you not honoring yourself, of you not aligning with yourself. And you need to see, write it down. How many times are you eating fast food per week? Times that by how many years you've been overweight. It's really powerful to see in numbers, in figures, in having data in front of you of yourself, of your behaviors. How are you going to change and modify your behaviors if you don't understand your current one? If you're not able to come to a realization of the habits that you've been doing that have led to where you are now, it's impossible. So after you realize and come to the conclusion of where you are, how did I get here? How did I get here? How did I allow myself to be in the situation where I am today, where I am pre-diabetic, overweight?
And then that leads to framework question number 3, which is what?
How do I feel about where I am? Question 3 is where most people start crying.
Because it ties in emotion.
Correct. Question 3 is where most people really get punched in the face. It's really where that coin starts to drop and they start to realize, oh my God, what have I been doing to myself? What have I done to myself? How did I allow myself to get here? Why didn't I love myself? I think this brief moment of self-pity, of this powerful realization is required, but you can't stay there for long. But it's important for you to be able to dwell, at least for a little bit, because that pain is going to fuel you to unleash. That pain that you feel from that realization of what you've been doing to yourself is so powerful. It really is a form to catapult yourself. Because the next question is a question that, if you use it properly, allows you to turn things around real quickly about how you feel. Because question 4 is, what is working for me now? So after you felt like shit about what you've done to yourself, let's take a quick reset and say, okay, it's not all bad. Let's write down what's been working well. Because there's going to be some things you've been doing well. So give yourself props. Give yourself that pat on the back because you've been doing a few things correctly. But now we're going back into that pit. Question 5, what is not working about where I am right now? Question 5 is probably the most important. And if you get to question 5 and you're not able to answer the question without putting your emotions aside, you got to go back to question 1. Question 5 is time to get to work. You want to dwell in question 3. Question 5 is time to pinpoint every single little thing that has been going wrong. And you are, in essence, designing your blueprint for success by writing all this down. If you're able to understand what is working and what is not working, that's half the battle. That is literally half the battle. Because now all you got to go do is change what's not working. Easier said than done, which is why it's half the battle.
I love it. And then is that 5 questions, or are there more questions in that framework?
No. So these are the 5 questions that allow you to reframe the mapping of your current frame. So once you have written down and come to the realization and gone through all these 5 questions, you are now ready to start rebuilding your new frame. Once you've been empowered by the truth, the real truth, and you felt the raw emotion of it, and you've seen what results you've had, it's now time to build a plan to go collect the fruit.
So then would it be fair to say that we can apply these 5 framework questions to each of those pillars: body, being, balance, and business? And if so, let's start proceeding through there and do a 30,000 foot kind of a tip of the iceberg overview of how do we apply these framework questions to body?
The best way to apply them to body is to, I think first, you must come to a realization that you want to change and you're ready to come into your truth.
Mm-hmm.
And then you must come into your truth and reveal the truth to yourself about your body. Understand how you got here. Get deep into the feeling, the emotion of how you feel about what you've done to yourself.
Even as granular as, if I don't like my body now, how do I feel in this pair of jeans? How do I feel when I put on this shirt? Do I like this? If I don't like it, what don't I like about it, right?
100%. And especially clothes, right? Clothes is very important because clothes, our clothes tells a story about us and who we are, and it represents us. And if we're not comfortable and we don't feel like we look good in our clothes, it throws us off, right? And we don't feel good about ourselves. So 100%, you have to get down granular, like I feel uncomfortable when I sit on an airplane because the seats are too small and I'm too large.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a real one. Like you have to come to that truth, to that realization. Like that is not working for me. Something must change. Either I'm going to afford first class or wait.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we can zoom out 30,000 view on each one, in body, in being. That 30,000 view from being is, are you just spaced out? Or are you in direct connection, in direct communion, in direct communication with God?
Mm-hmm.
Are you missing the point? Or are you in alignment? That 30,000 view for family is, are you leading your family properly the way that your family needs to be led? Are you there for them? Are you being the provider they need you to be? Are you the leader your kids and your wife need you to be? 30,000 view from business is, do you have the creative fuel to unleash?
Hmm.
Do you have the bandwidth and the highway required for you to roar? Because you can have all the Ferraris you want, but if you're stuck in traffic, you're not going anywhere. So we need to clear the path, align everything within your body being balanced to allow your business to flourish.
And what I would suspect too, Leo, correct me here if I'm wrong, when you take yourself through these framework questions for body, being, balance, and business, where am I now? How did I get here? How do I feel about it? What's working and what's not working? The unsaid next step is, now what am I going to do about it? And so now that kind of brings you into that next aspect, right, of your freedom maps. So talk a little bit about, once we've rolled through the framework questions, through the 4 pillars, what then do we do with those freedom maps?
It's very similar to the core 4, where everything has a thread that connects one to the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because once each question requires a realization, and it requires a growth from question 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. For you to properly and honestly answer each question, it requires an evolution of growth to answer each question properly. And each question grows you a little bit more, and you grow a little bit more, and you grow a little bit more, and you grow a little bit more. And by the time you are fully written down everything that's not working in your life within the pillars of body, being, balance, and business, the next logical thing that you're going to want is, you're going to want to break free out of your frame.
Mm-hmm.
I am living in a frame. I have a perception of the world that is not serving me. It's not working me. It's not working for me. All these things that I wrote down, that I listed, are things that are not benefiting me. So I must break out of this frame and make a new one. I want my freedom. And that's where Freedom Map comes in.
And then is there a specific structure for a freedom map?
Your Freedom Map is also known as a vision board.
Yes.
So your Freedom Map is the frame that you are going to create to tell your subconscious that that's where we're heading. That is really the purpose of a Freedom Map, is to allow your subconscious to break free from the mold that you've built. All these limitations, all these fears, all this anxiety, all this overthinking, all of this that you're not worthy. We want to take that, get you out of that frame, throw that frame away, and put you in a new frame that serves who you are today and who you are becoming. So the Freedom Maps is your dream life. Let's design your dream life. Let's build a vision that scares you. Let's build a vision so big, so grand, that if we shoot for the sun, we'll reach the moon. Let's build a vision that allows you to work every single day towards it. And that is really the purpose of Freedom Maps. It is to allow you to build a large enough frame of your dream life that allows you to reverse engineer that frame and create a path to get there. while reconstructing your frame each step of the way, right? Because your freedom frame is your end goal. You are going to have a bunch of different frames in between where you are now to that frame. But the point is, you are now ready to break free of the frame that you've been stuck in forever. And now we are going to work our way frame by frame by frame into the ultimate frame, the freedom frame.
You know, I love how you it's almost like you've got this telescope and you're widening out to see the broad 30,000 foot view of why am I, here? How did I get here? Things like that on all of these pillars. And that becomes then the result of those, the outpouring of that becomes the freedom map. But then it seems like the next step where you focus into the next section, the focus and fire maps, now starts zeroing back in on each one of these frame maps for body and going, okay, now to get to that let's give you a little glimpse of hope, but now let's zero back in and go, let's dial it in. So talk a little bit about the focus and fire maps.
So originally, I wanted to call it the fuel map but I think fire is a little bit better.
Yeah.
Fire map is my favorite. This is when we do the fucking work. Excuse my language. But this is where we take the culmination of everything that we've done, of all the growth, of all the learning about yourself, of where you are and how you feel about it and how you got here and what's working and what's not working. Built on top of this new platform, this new foundation of the core four and the code, we're going to take all of that. We're going to take your freedom map and we are going to reverse engineer and we are going to build step by step by step by step on how you are going to get there. And then you're going to execute and take action on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis.
Which actually, I would suspect, ties in with one of the things we talked about previously is when you start seeing progress, you self-motivate, it creates that momentum, and then that's where that fire gets lit, and it helps you to stay focused. It helps you to stay moving to the next one because you're gonna pop back out and look at that freedom map and go, here's where I'm headed.
Exactly. We call him Uncle Mo, Uncle Motivation. Uncle Mo is very, very important because once he gets going, he takes off. And you don't want to miss that train. So that's exactly it.
Do you find that you would recommend some sort of gamification, meaning what motivates you, and that if you stick with whatever it is for body for 3 weeks, you're going to reward yourself by whatever that might be. What are some of your thoughts that way to help make sure that you are sticking to this map plan and achieving that freedom map?
Mike, you are a very, very smart individual. I got to tell you.
Thank you.
We actually have an entire game built around the core four. Unfortunately, that is not in the scope of this book. I have to write another book just to add the game to it. But I'll go briefly into it. It's basically a point system that that you can give yourself every single day. So, for example, if you went to the gym, you get a point. If you had your healthy meal, you get a point, right? If you went for a jog, you get a point. If you meditated, you get a point. If you prayed, you get a point. At the end of the week, there's a total number. The total number of points that you can get per week is 60. So you would then measure weekly how you're doing and how many points you're getting. And you can then set a reward for yourself at the end of that month to give yourself if you meet X number of points, whatever that may be, right? So yes, we actually have a game built around the entire code in Core 4 to really make this fun and interactive.
I love it. That's awesome. So, Leo, we have talked so much in this series of conversations about your book, your methodology. You're just on a mission and a crusade. You've got your code. We talked about your Core 4 and the pillars and the frame maps. Bring it all home. Give us a recap and conclusion, and what should we be doing next with this?
Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate you. So, an overview of this. We live in a time where a lot of us are unaligned. We have so many tools at our disposal, which give us so much more time, but yet we don't know what to do with that time, which creates havoc in our human brain because we get bored and we overthink and we do stupid stuff, which is why it is critical. It's extremely important to have a foundation, to have a code, to have something of moral and values that you live by, that you allow yourself to catapult off of. And that is what we have been teaching at our program. We allow men to come into their truth. We help them walk through that door of where they are to where they want to be. We use tools like the code, real, raw, relevant results within the 4 pillars of the Core 4: body, being, balance, and business. We take these 4 pillars and we see them and we use them and we know them to be the foundation that allows any man to be unstoppable and the best version of himself. If he's able to find the right balance for him within those 4 pillars, he will be an unstoppable weapon, a leader amongst leaders, someone who people are drawn to, someone who is balanced, aligned within their truth. It is extremely important, especially nowadays in this world of fake news, to be authentic and to be real. We have lost authenticity, we've lost realness, and I'm trying to bring that back. I am weaponizing and giving a tool for people to understand their frame, their view and perception of the world, and giving them the tools to allow themselves to free themselves from this frame that keeps them boxed up and does not allow them to align and unleash. So we have the 4 pillars: body, being, balance, and business. Take care of your body, connect with God, connect with your family, and your business will flourish.
You know, I just really want to wrap up that thought because it's just a perfect spot there that you brought it all home. And if someone is ready and is sick and tired of being sick and tired, and now they've seen and heard these principles and they're ready to align and unleash their way to their truth, what's the best way they can learn more, pick up a copy of your book, and reach out, connect with you?
The best way is through my website, leoclimaco.com, or alignandunleash.com. You can also find me on Instagram at Leo Climaco And both of those links will be on my bio.
Leo, thank you so much for coming back on. It has been a real pleasure talking with you.
Mike, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. It's been an honor and a pleasure doing this series with you.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneursradio.com.